It was a straight up battle in NVIDIA stock today, guys. The bulls, the bears, right in the mid 180s, man. It's a battleground for the stock. Check it out. We hit $185 today, I believe, in the pre-market. Then we ended up battling right around there at open, and then we downtrended for the rest of the day. And this is as the GTC conference, as I'm sure all of you guys know by now, is going on from the 16th of March yesterday through the 19th. And we're going to break down in this video what's been going on at the GTC conference, a couple updates here, what Jensen's been saying overall, what to expect from NVIDIA, and of course, guys, we're going to break down what I'm doing, as it is, depending on the day, my biggest stock holding right now. It's between NVIDIA and Amazon, right? So they're neck and neck depending on the day. When NVIDIA got to $200, it was my biggest stock holding, but now it's down to 180. Either way, guys, we have a lot to break down. So hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, join the Patreon for my portfolio updates and my private Discord community if you guys want to be a part of it. Check it out, link down below. And now, cheers, we're on the coconut water today, guys. I appreciate you all for tuning in, and let's dive into it. So like I said, guys, it's been a straight up battleground stock here in the mid 180s, not just here over the last couple of days, last couple of weeks, but it's been months at this point. As all of you guys know, I mean, if you've been in this stock, you know it's been flat for a while, and people are like, they're getting impatient. They're getting antsy. They're like, oh my God, when is NVIDIA going to move? But of course, the classic saying, when in doubt, zoom out. We're still up around 50%, I believe. If you look at the 1 year performance, I believe we're up 50%. Yeah, we were at $120 a year ago in March. Think about that. So now we're at 180. So yeah, guys, that's 50%. So when you think about it, again, when in doubt, zoom out, we're up 50% over the past year. And if you just have patience, if you're willing to hold it out, in my humble opinion, and if you're a retail investor, you have that luxury, considering you don't have clients to answer to, you don't have quarterly targets. So if you're willing to hold it out and you believe in the AI trade and that it's not over yet, right? This is like a coiled spring, in my humble opinion. NVIDIA stock here, you know, it's been flat for what, 6-8 months, whatever it's been, but it's still up 50% over the last year, and the fundamentals are only getting better. They crushed earnings, they upped guidance, they're trading at 23-4 times forward earnings, whatever the heck they're trading at nowadays. It is ridiculously cheap for the growth here. But let's say, to play devil's advocate here, you know, NVIDIA slashes their growth expectations next quarter, the quarter after that. That's a different story. You know, that could change the entire narrative, the valuation, but that is not on anybody's forecast. On my forecast, at least, I don't see that happening. So I think it's inevitable that this goes 220, higher, even higher than that. I think it's going to 250 plus, but I don't want to obviously make you guys think it's going to go to 250 tomorrow or next week. We don't know when it's going to happen, but the fundamentals are getting better, and it's inevitable, in my opinion. Again, coiled spring. Eventually, in my opinion, the way I really see it happening is, look, we're going to see this thing absolutely rip and make up months of ground lost in the span of a couple of weeks. I think that's going to happen. NVIDIA, one week, it might take a couple of weeks, right? I don't know where it's going to go from 185 and it's going to go right to 220, 215. It has that type of move in it. I mean, we saw it a couple months ago. We saw it recently from 170 to 200, 205 into earnings. We're going to see that kind of move, and it's going to hold the gains. We're not just going to give it all back. Eventually, we're going to see that move, and in my opinion, it's coming soon. So again, that is why it is, depending on the day, my top holding. It's either that or Amazon, right? So I'm super bullish here still. I'm so close to even adding more. Again, it doesn't make sense trading at whatever, 22, 23, 24 times forward earnings. It is, if you believe the AI story is only going to get even stronger over the next couple of years, it makes sense, in my opinion, to consider NVIDIA here. And now let's get into the GTC conference. what Jensen's been talking about, overall what to expect, and yeah, you're going to want to hear this. But first, let's hear a word from our sponsor, investing.com. Listen up. So you guys know me. I'm an active trader. I'm always cleaning up my watch list, looking for the next fresh setup worth tracking. And I've been using investing.com's pro service, Investing Pro, to do exactly that. Using Investing Pro's global screener, you can filter for stocks with strong health score, solid earnings growth, and discounted valuation. And guys, this allows me to make more concise trading decisions, and time is money when it comes to trading. And as you guys can see, you can look through the market view, fair value from Investing Pro standpoint, right? The analyst target, and diving deeper into the health, you can see again the overall health label, the cash flow health label, growth health label, profit health label. And I love the strategies tab at the top, which shows you different stocks based on different criteria. Here we have strong upside, stocks on the rise, stocks that fit the Ben Graham formula, right? If we click that, we can come down here and sift through all these names. And what's exciting, guys, is they have their own built-in AI called Warren AI. So I asked it which sector currently has the highest number of undervalued but financially strong stocks. And boom, there you go. Biotech and healthcare dominate the value strong list, and we can see the evidence, the different names here, the companies, the fair value upside, financial health, the PE ratio, and the Warren AI take. This is very useful stuff. And you want to know something awesome? You can try this now for yourself. Investing Pro's doing a flash sale, limited time, 55% off. And with my coupon code StocksTalkStocks, you get an additional 15% off. So guys, check out the link in my bio. Let's continue on here. Okay, so by now I'm sure you guys heard that during his keynote, Jensen's keynote yesterday, I think it was at like 1 or 2 p.m. East Coast time, whatever, he forecasted that AI chip sales would reach $1 trillion by 2027. Think about that, raising expectations from a previous outlook of $500 billion in demand through 2026. And that was followed on Tuesday, today, by Microsoft's announcement that it plans to shake up the company's AI organization, centralizing its commercial and consumer Copilot teams under the new executive vice president of Copilot, Jacob Andrew. And this is big news here when it comes to China. Jensen gave us, a little more color during the Q&A today around China, what's going on there with the chips. He said that the company currently has purchase orders, NVIDIA does, for chips destined for China, and is firing up the supply chain to meet that demand. The news comes after the Financial Times reported that the company was stopping production of its H200 chips for the Chinese market and instead shifting to produce Vera Rubin processors for the rest of the world. And of course, as everybody knows by now, NVIDIA has been at the center of a tug of war between the US and China over whether the US government should allow the country's most sought-after chip to power AI platforms in China that could ultimately end up benefiting that country's military. Very, interesting situation here, which I totally understand from the U.S.'s perspective, not wanting to give China the most the highest level chips. That's why the H200s are there, right? And Jensen successfully lobbied the Trump administration to allow NVIDIA's H200 chips to flow to China, saying that it was better for the country to be reliant on U.S. tech rather than pushing it to develop its own high-powered processors. I get that angle as well. But of course, China doesn't want to play ball, right? Telling companies to use homegrown chips instead, which I totally get China's perspective for wanting to do that. And NVIDIA has said it still hasn't begun shipping its products into the country. So there's still this back and forth around China, and we can see this is interesting. Jensen said that $1 trillion projection that we mentioned earlier doesn't include new Grok and Vera revenue. We can see that it only applies to sales of its Grace Blackwell and Vera Rubin chips, not the others, again, that he debuted during his keynote on Monday. And the $1 trillion figure, he explained, was meant to serve as an apples-to-apples comparison to his prior projection. back in October, which we outlined earlier in the video, where the company had a through line to $500 billion in revenue by the end of 2026. But he said adding the anticipated revenue from its new Vera CPU, Grok 3, and the new storage racks will push that amount beyond $1 trillion. Guys, I mean, is NVIDIA stock, is this priced in? I mean, again, the coiled spring, this doesn't make sense. NVIDIA generated $215 billion in its fiscal 2026, which ended January 25th, a 65% year-over-year increase. You tell me, what do you guys think, right? And these chips are going to be huge. The company's Grok 3 and Vera chips are designed to assist with AI inferencing or running AI and agentic AI. And both inferencing and agentic AI are becoming increasingly important across the AI industry as more users begin using the technology and putting AI agents to work in both enterprise and consumer settings. As I'm sure you guys know, everybody's going nuts right now with Mac Minis, Claude, Raspberry Pi, right? You name it, all this stuff. And it's only going to get even crazier, right? And on a corporate level and on a more personal level, again, as all these people are, running these AI agents from their house. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video. And one last thing worth mentioning here, guys, shifting a little bit, shifting gears a bit, looking here at Uber. NVIDIA announced yesterday that Uber will begin rolling out a fleet of level 4 autonomous vehicles in LA and San Francisco in 2027 as part of both companies' broader self-driving efforts. And the firms previously announced, as I'm sure some of you guys remember if you're, tuning in, their intent to deploy 100,000 vehicles running on NVIDIA's Drive Hyperion self-driving platform during NVIDIA's GTC event in October, in Washington, D.C. There's a lot coming, man. And according to NVIDIA, guys, the service will eventually move beyond California to include 28 cities across 4 continents. Man, a lot of potential here. And in addition to Uber, NVIDIA said Lyft, Estonia-based Bolt, and Singapore's Grab are also using its systems to power their own self-driving capabilities. It's all around the world. So needless to say, guys, I'm super excited about NVIDIA. I am not going to sell a single share anytime soon. I think we're going higher over the next year, 12, 18, 24 months. In my opinion, it's a no-brainer. But in the stock market, nothing's ever a no-brainer. Nothing carries no risk. There's always risk. Some stocks have more risk. Obviously, other asset classes might have less risk. So you got to understand here, nothing is a surefire bet. Nothing's going to for sure happen. But, the idea as investors, traders, is to put your best ideas to work, right? And put money behind those ideas. And, put it all on the line, essentially, on the ideas. And for me, NVIDIA, I just think if now is the peak, I just can't see this being the peak, with what we have coming through 2030, and beyond, with all the automation, robotics, full self-driving vehicles, the demand for these chips. I don't think people fully realize how high it is or how high it's going to be over the coming years here for all those things mentioned and beyond. And yeah, NVIDIA has competition. There's going to be, companies, and there already are companies eating at their market share. So, that is going to be something worth noting over the coming years. Competition will continue to increase. But right now, man, their chips are top of class. They will be for a while. And guys, I just think people are underestimating how much more runway we have here. And I think the stock will positively react. I don't know when, but for me, I'm making that bet. I'm putting my money behind this idea. I just think we're going to do well, and people are underestimating it here. People think NVIDIA is dumb, but I think arguably the story is just getting hot now, just getting started. I think we could be in the second or third inning or second inning, maybe in the first inning, some would argue. But if you're treating this like the ninth inning, I just think you're wrong, flat out. I just think you're wrong. But yeah, with that being said, we're going to wrap it up here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Check out the investing.com link down below to get an additional 15% off the 55% off flash sale using my code. Again, link down below, guys. And check out the Patreon for my portfolio updates, my private Discord. Guess what? That's also linked down below. And with that being said, I'll see you all later.